you are gonna see some cool ass shit.
Yeah, you don't want two Flavor Flays.
Heart transplants, brain surgeries. I've seen it all.
Dude, that's fucking dope.
Walk up and just get it, whatever it is.
Yeah, brother.
I'm trying not to laugh, bro, but Josh is fucking killing me.
Guess what Navy SEALs do, motherfucker? They communicate and they're on the same fucking page.
Whoa.
And we're live.
Welcome back to the Happy Hoodlums podcast, where your host is chewing some gummy bears in this bitch, Mr. Kemper Woodruff. Zachary Sampson working on the speed bag, throwing some bows, getting big.
Boom.
Welcome back for another weekend, or other episode, I suppose. Okay. And we're chilling. I just got lost in the gummy bear flavor in my mouth right now. And, you know, Zach has a topic that he came up with, spitballing, and it hit him real quick.
Yeah,
And
so
it's that you can always do something.
you can always do something. And what I mean by that, and I learned this while not just watching, but also reading David Goggins, right? And one of the things that he does is he's had fucking knee surgeries out the ass, right? And every time he's been like, okay, I can't run, I can't do legs, I can't do squats, right? Well, I can still do upper body shit.
Mhm.
Right. And so my thought process there is I'm in the gym. I got my fucked up shoulder. I did upper body, or I did chest and anything overhead. I did a couple things last weekend, and the day after that, my shoulder was like not having it. It was not happy. And so what I realized is I need to take a little bit more time off of doing shoulder presses, any type of pressing movement that irritates the front delt.
Mhm.
And even upright, like high rows, right? I can't really do lat pull downs because it's the position, right? All of that kind of incorporates your front delt a little bit. And even got to the point where I can't do back squats because I can't get my shoulder, I can't lock my shoulder in that right position. So what I started doing was I have to adapt what I'm able to do at the gym, because I'm not just going to stop working out until this gets better, because a shoulder injury, if it's a minor rotator cuff thing, it could take 6 to 8 weeks. And I'm not going to stop working out for 6 to 8 weeks. Right. And so I had this setback. I took a week off, gave it some time, and then I started easing into doing leg stuff. But now what I'm doing is I've found the upper body movements that I can do, and I'm incorporating that into leg workouts. So like today, all week this week, actually, I've only been doing deadlifts, calf raises, squats, and like arms. So, because I can do bicep curls and I can do tricep extensions as long as it's not overhead. I can do pretty much anything. And so what I realized this week is that I'm not going to stop working out. I'm going to keep testing my shoulder as I go. So as the weeks go on, I'm going to be like, all right, how many push-ups can I do this week without feeling uncomfortable? Can I do any type of pull down motion or rowing motion? Right. And so slowly start to test my shoulder, but not stopping and always doing something. So like, even if you have, like, let's say, no motivation to do the work that you're doing for maybe a side hustle, but there's something that is light, like really light, that just helps you progress in doing that. Like maybe your fucking desk is dirty as fuck, and that's why you don't want to sit down at it and do the work that you want to do or that you have to do. Clean your fucking desk and then come back tomorrow and sit down at it and try and get some shit done. there's always something that you can do to keep moving forward and keep progressing yourself towards what the goals that you want to have. And
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people get stuck as like, well, my shoulders hurt, so I'm just not going to do anything. I'm going to let it heal. And then you stop working out for 6 months, then a year, and you get down this rabbit hole of like not doing what you wish you did. And then you start feeling like shit. And you're like, damn, why do I feel like shit? Well, you stop pushing yourself. Like, okay, part of this David Goggins book that I read, I'm reading Never Finished, I think is the actual title.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reading that, and in the book he said something about like people will get sick and then they'll milk the fuck out of it. Right? They'll start feeling better, but they'll be like, I feel better, but I'm gonna still take some time off and whatever, right? They're gonna fucking milk the fuck out of the pity party that it is, right? It's like I'm still kind of sick and shit like that, rather than being like, my body feels great. I got a little bit of congestion, but other than that, I'm good to go, and then get back at it, right? And so
Well,
like I've
this
been
this
looking at
this
that
is the thing,
mindset
bro.
type of shit about around like pushing yourself when you know you feel good, push yourself, even
This
if
is the
it's
thing
a
about
fucked up shoulder.
true success, right? True success is an endurance race, but it's ran based on momentum. And I was thinking about it. Before I dive into that, we need to call this the Gym Bros Learning Podcast or some shit because you can learn so much fucking shit in the gym. And like, one of the things that like stood out to me lately was that successful people understand the concept of consistency. You know,
Yeah.
and if you understand consistency, you'll appreciate inherently delayed gratification because it's just a part of any given process, right? And over the course of working the process, um, it becomes so daunting, you know, and repetitive that you almost have to fall in love with the process more than the result. And in the course of doing all this shit, right, that's part of what makes you become the person that is successful. Because now, when you quit and you spend time away from it, that's when you feel like you're really hurting yourself more so than the injury. You know, it's
Facts.
hurting me more because it's a piece of my identity because I am what I do in a sense because what I do keeps me being the person that I want to become more of, you know? And this is all that snowball effect on an emotional level within yourself. Um, and one of the things that really like tripped me out was I started to notice it A in the gym and B when observing super successful people because I'm a people person. I love stories. I love listening to people. And it's that um, people become hyper focused before they're ever successful. And it doesn't matter what area they kind of start on, but it tends to be um, for most people wherever their passion is struck. And um, so there are rare people that are like highly intellectual, but if you notice, those people always seem trapped in a certain sense.
Yeah.
And like if you look at like a Steve Jobs, or who's the fucking Microsoft dude, Bill Gates, or fucking Elon Musk, like all of them uh aren't really like super in shape. They're fucking
Bro,
geniuses.
you should look at Elon Musk. He's pretty fucking jacked.
Well, he probably fucking figured it out. He's been
Yeah.
thinking but think
He's
about how many
doing
years.
jujitsu now, and he's fucking working out, and like he's
I
training for
fucking
an
salute him.
MMA fight, bro.
I salute him, but he's fucking the 1% of 1%. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because 99% of them got some fucking string bean arms. You know what I'm saying? So
Zuckerberg's been
like,
training MMA too, so but yeah.
well, fucking both of them been talking to aliens. I saw that guy. He's fucking had to go learn how to drink water. He is so in his fucking mind.
Dude, both
So
of those, they're actually planning to do an MMA fight, Zuckerberg and Elon.
I fucking hope so. I
Yeah,
bet you it's gonna be the world's greatest Rubik's cube of a fucking jujitsu match
honestly.
we've ever seen.
They both
Uh,
trained with sorry, I'm still going on this, but they both trained with Lex Friedman in jiu-jitsu. It was pretty cool to see that. But
that's awesome.
anyways,
Uh,
continue, sorry.
well, honestly, it's just kind of going back to that uh, topic that you had of there's always more and something you can do.
Mhm.
But I'm learning to appreciate rather than doing something um, sporadic, having certain core tenets that you focus on and you do consistently. And in order to avoid like burnout, right?
Mhm.
Like you really push to that fucking like through the atmosphere every day. And as you're like burning up in the atmosphere, you're like, all right, fine. And you go and do something else. And when you take that break, take it in whatever the fuck area you want, you know? Like go to an art museum, like whatever the fuck calls you. Like the other day I was thinking about it, I was like, man, I'm so excited to like take my daughter to plays. And I never really like appreciated it that much.
Yeah.
But I was driving to work and I looked at this bus and it said the Nutcracker on the side of it. And I remembered when I was way little, my mom would do things to just expand my mind, you know?
Mhm.
And I remember we always had nosebleed seats wherever we went, whether it was a basketball game, whatever. It was whatever mom could get, you know?
Yeah.
She would scrounge for this shit. She took us to the Nutcracker. And at the time when I was watching it, I was like, this is kind of like, it's kind of corny because I've been watching Rambo and shit. You know, it's
Yeah.
not like a movie,
Yeah.
right? It's not like a movie. But I'm sitting there and I was watching it and I kind of got lost in, not that it's like as good a production or like as captivating, but just watching the spirit of all these people moving in sync, you know, and what they're doing and like in trying to put it on. And the way you get like a full on fucking orchestra concert with it. Like there's a different presence to
Yeah.
the experience. And it's like I look back on that and some things are just way cool in retrospect. Like in the moment you're kind of just like, eh. But when you look back on it, you're like, no. If I didn't experience that, I wouldn't even get it. And I would almost equate it to how Japanese people build like flower bouquets
Mhm.
and they put so much emphasis where the flower isn't, you know? And they use that blank space to make this thing beautiful, you know? And I'm back on the tip. But
Yeah,
anyways,
you know.
uh,
Yeah, you are. Anyways,
that's what I'm digging on.
another thing too is uh like being a conscious person. So like thinking about the things that you're doing when you're doing it. And one of the things that I did today was I caught myself trying to reason out going to the gym.
Blasphemy!
And so I got out of bed late, ate breakfast late, and I was heading to the gym probably like 10 minutes before noon. Something like that, right around noon. And I fucking hate that. I hate getting to the gym anywhere around noon because usually like my workouts start and end in about 2 hours. But what I didn't realize is one, I was basically doing full body today, and so I could just go from one thing to the next pretty a lot faster. Um, and so, but also because I'm doing a lot of lightweight shit for because my shoulder, I'm able to recover faster in between my sets. So it's like 30 seconds and I'm right back at it. And so what I caught myself doing though was I was completely ready to leave. I had my backpack, all my shit in it, my phone, my wallet, my keys. I was dressed. I had my hoodie on, my hat. I was ready to walk out the fucking door.
You're staring
And
at your shoes like Goggins, son.
and I look at my phone, 12 minutes until the bus shows up. All right. And it takes me about 5 minutes to get to the bus stop. So
Mhm.
I wait until it's about like 10 minutes, 8 or 10 minutes left before I have to get there. And
Mhm.
I'm sitting there like, do I really even want to go? Like, for real. I'm gonna get back so late, like, and all this other shit. And I hate getting back to my apartment as the sun's going down. Uh, I don't like to get back before fucking or like after 5. Um, and so I don't know why I've just had this weird thing of like I got to be out of the gym by 3 or some bullshit. I don't know why. And so I caught myself doing that, and I was like, motherfucker, you're ready to go. Just go. And so I just grabbed my shit and left before it hit the 8 minute mark. So I was just like, I gave myself 2 minutes of, I don't want to go. And then I'm like, fuck that, go. And I left early. And so catching yourself, holding yourself back, like in those moments, I think is really impactful. And it's going to be the thing that keeps you from not continuing to do shit. It's like you can always do shit, but you have to like push yourself sometimes. And it's not
And
gonna be
bro,
easy. And
it's
yeah.
about fun.
Yeah.
Like, do you when you realize how fucked shit can be, you really appreciate life.
Yeah.
Like lately, I've you know what I've been digging on is allowing myself to be the joking kind of person that I am. And like even though I'm doing something, um I'm more focused on how I'm doing it, you know, and trusting who I am, like my personality.
Yeah.
And I really think that's where everybody's strong suit is. Um because inside there's like I'm a very jovial person. I'm a very goofy person, bro, and I just like to joke and like fuck with people. And I've just started to like bring that back into like my workplace. So where I'm like talking to people, I'm commenting and basically having like a comedy thing, partly with me, partly with them, and just treating everything funny, just super theatrical in my like salesmanship
Yeah.
with like guns and like being like, yeah, you want it, and like just different kind of shit, you know, like, and I think the more that you focus on how you do the shit that you do and how much doing it to the utmost degree of where fun and professionalism like intersect,
Yeah.
because I really think that they kind of actually coincide together, and there's like this sweet spot when you're doing something and allowing yourself to be fully yourself while you fucking do it. It's like this shit just goes higher and higher, like that intersection point, like they run parallel. Those two things are fucking awesome, you know, and they cross at a certain point up here rather than like lower level or something. I don't know if the diagram really matters. The point of what I'm saying is, bro, like, and I find it in any interview that I watch. You know, if you're looking at like I've been watching the Sean Ryan show a lot because honestly, I've always wanted to be in the special forces, and that's like my shit, bro. I admire and love the military like at the highest levels and just military mindset and people and stuff. I fuck with that community so hard. So, um, anyways, when I'm listening to like Green Berets, Navy SEALs, and they're talking about what they loved, like what they were doing. They were totally themselves. They were totally able to be themselves, but they had this level of professionalism and like perfectionism, but they had to do it like their way in order to not be in their way. in their own way, you know,
Yeah.
and to execute the process on the highest levels. And I think to a certain extent, because people think that shit is fucking hard all the time, and they program themselves to see shit like that, and program themselves to bitch about shit, that like they rob themselves of the experience of doing it at the highest level. And that's what
Facts.
a low level person does compared to a high level person. A high level person, yeah, they get the result, but they love what they're doing like a nut.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Jocko thing. Good, right? It's like something bad happens, and rather than being like, "Oh, this is a bad thing," all right, good. We can use this and we can learn from it, or we can adjust the trajectory, and we can see where we went wrong and adjust and make the and move forward. And so if people started to like I've started doing it to people actually, like rather than like saying, "Oh, you have to reprogram your mind." Well, when they say something negative, like let's say, um, I can't come up with an example, but if someone were to say something negative to me about like their day or whatever like that, I would say the opposite, like the reverse of it. So rather than like, "Oh, I had a shit day," it's like, "What fuck."
I think my trick is just I realize people want to have fucking fun.
Yeah.
Like people want to have fun. And if you take that first step and you just kind of lead and you trust yourself and you just go for it, it kind of gives people that permission to like, oh, this is like a playful person. Like I don't have to have my guard up.
Yeah.
And
I
when you
laugh a
diffuse
lot
it,
when I'm at work. Like I'm like
yeah,
I laugh when I talk to people. I'm like I smile all the time, and so I think laughing with people is another way to help kind of program their day for a fucking good one almost.
100%. And you can
Yeah.
level with them in a different way where it's like, rather than like I can talk at your level and recognize that you're at just a different part of this journey than I'm on. For instance, like in the gun store, right?
Mhm.
You might come in and you might be kind of nervous, right? But you're here for a reason, but you kind of feel like a fish out of water. Well, I'm basically going to talk about how you feel. And I'm going to put it center stage so it's like you're not hiding and there's nothing to hide. Like that's where someone else was at this point in the journey and they're just over here. So let me just bring you over here with me now. And you do it in like a joking way. So I kind of snap back between like, oh yeah, this is probably what you're thinking and talking from their perspective as I'm going over stuff. And then flip to like my perspective and just use my surroundings. For instance, there's like deer heads on the walls. So I'll be talking to people about, well, what kind of sights do you like? You know, Glock's got these like crappy little plastic field goal sights right out of the box. And like generally I'll be like, yeah, this is a Glock. Go ahead, take it and put them up, see if your sight alignment is any different from the, you know, Sig Sauer or something. Do you like the color on the Sig Sauer because it's a green sight compared to a white sight? And they're like, oh, okay. And so I'm like, are they level more one than another? I'm like, that could be from the grip angle. And we're just kind of talking through these things, and they kind of still don't get it.
Yeah.
And like, if I see they're wearing glasses, I'm like, they don't even know I'm about to drop this red dot shit on them, you know? So then I'm like, all right. So I'm like, now that we've gone through all that, I'm going to show you where technology's gone now. Let me get a red dot out for you. So I run and I grab a gun with a red dot, and we have like these little deer heads on the wall. I'm like, now let's go hunting. Look at these beautiful deer head right here. All right, let's kill them. You know, like shit like that.
Fucking take them out.
And when you see like a little office lady start to like put her guard down and she's just having fun, now she's picking it up and she's like, oh my God, I see the red dot. What the fuck? Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's so much easier. I'm like, yeah, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm instantly stoked, you know? And I'm like, that's something where you just made that person's day and you didn't make them feel like awkward. You acknowledge their awkwardness so they could let it go,
Yeah,
you know?
facts.
just let them come have fun, and you gave them like a good positive experience with something new, and like that's what life is about. And so like understand that everybody's an expert and farther along or not as far in a journey of understanding
Yeah.
through whatever you're dealing with. So like when you go to some place, like you're not looking to buy from a robot or someone that's just professional. Like, no, bro, fuck all that. That's fake as shit. I want the fucking goofiest, like straight talking, awesome person that's there.
Sometimes like I'll tell this to people too, but like when you embrace your awkwardness, it actually comes off as confidence. And I learned that from this I forget what YouTube channel it is, but I've brought it up a few times on the podcast. It's like Charisma University or something like that. But they've talked about like when you fumble over your words or you stutter or you do something weird and it kind of like makes you look kind of funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Acknowledge it and like acknowledge the awkwardness and make a joke about it, and it comes off as more confident in
Mm-hmm.
conversational situations. And so when you embrace that like that weird interaction, that weird like behavior, even if you're just doing it because that's who you are, it comes off as more confident, and then it gives you the idea, it gives the other people the idea of like, oh, this guy's confident in what he's doing and he also knows what he's doing, and it's making it fun, and it pulls other people's guards down because now they don't have to feel like they have to stick to this guideline because you're now not sticking to that guideline. And so it kind of gives people permission to also be goofy and have a good time. And
You know,
so yeah.
I really did learn through working in a weed shop, and it's just naturally like my personality because I kind of took interacting in classrooms and stuff, just kind of
Yeah.
being a happy person and not wanting class to suck. So I was like, fuck it. Like that's what being a class clown was like I wanted to bring like a party, like fun atmosphere to this. So
I
it's
didn't
not just
like
so
you when I first when we first met.
you've already said this a million times, but
And I
it would
want
have
you
been
to
dry
remember
as
that.
fuck. It would have been dry as fuck
It would
without me
have. It would
there. And
have, but I didn't
your
like you.
life your life is so saturated with color because I fucking came into it. So you're welcome, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, your
Now,
life is saturated with logic, motherfucker.
whoa, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
All I
bitch. Yeah,
there's, there's, a,
bitch.
there's an equal balance and harmony that we just happen to
Exactly.
find together.
We have a
But
nice.
you know, for instance, today, like I really think there's a fun way of like fucking with people that's still respectful.
Oh,
You know, like
100%. Yeah.
this I love fucking with old dudes because I don't think old dudes get enough interaction as it is. So if you kind of give them a little bit of shit in like a funny, like joking way, where they can kind of throw something back at you, and sometimes they get you, and you're like, "Oh
Bro,
damn, you're still sharp." You know
I've
what
had
I mean?
times where I've met more old dudes that have really quick one-liners that kind of
Mhm.
like stump you. And
Yeah,
it's not easy to like come back from some shit that they have. Like they're loaded with just fucking things just to rattle off at you. And it's
yeah.
fucking wild.
And you just hit them with something like, "Damn, that fucking came from 1947 on my ass," or
Yeah,
something.
bro.
I love it. Like
Almost said some
I
out of pocket shit.
yeah, joking with people. Like I was joking with an older dude today about like getting extended mags for his pistol. I was like, "Oh yeah," and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't even know these existed. I've been rocking the 15 rounders for years." And he was like, "When did these things even show up?" I was like, "I don't know, but extended mags have been a thing for a long time." I was like, "But now you're stepping into the 20th century, dog. Come on." And he started laughing. He was
It's
like, "Yeah,
about
dude. I
time.
guess
Put the rocks down.
he was like, I'm gonna burn them down, man. That's what's up." He was like, "Don't want to catch me on the range." And then he was like, "Or in my house." And I was like, "I ain't fucking with you, man."
Yeah, I'm
You
fucking
know,
with
it's one of those things where it's like just a quick back and forth banter. But I think old people, everyone needs it. You know, old people
Yeah.
need it at the gym. I love talking to like the younger kids that I see in the gym and just being like, "What's up, big dog?" Like, "Oh, you're still
Yeah.
in here?" Like fucking with them, like, "How long you been here?" Like, come up to them like almost like you're talking tough to them at first, like, "How long you been here, bro? What are you doing?" "Oh man, you're killing it. I'm just playing." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they're like, at first they're like, "Oh shit," and then you're like, "No, dude, come on." And they love that shit,
I don't know
because
what it
it's
is. I fucking like it's not that I hate talking to people at the gym, but like I'm there for one reason, and it's to get my fucking workout in. And I can't stand like especially when if I'm like halfway, let's say I'm like ready to go from my rest, but someone comes up and talks to me for the next 5 minutes,
mhm.
and now I'm completely taken out of the zone of my workout, and then I gotta get back into it with the next set. I'm like, this is taking way too fucking long. You came up and you fucking ruined the groove. And it's like I can have a good conversation and not be like sour about it, but like it's definitely not something that I'm looking for. Now that's not to fucking discourage people from talking in the gym, because if you're a talkative person like Kemper, fucking talk. But like some people, just leave them the fuck alone.
I get it, but this is the thing. Everyone's got a radar, right?
Oh,
And there's
100%.
different kinds of people, but it's a true skill to be a host. And this is
Yeah.
what I was saying is like I've always wanted to be or I just inherently been a host. Whether I was at the dispensary or working at the gun shop or in a classroom or wherever I was always like a host. I could check on somebody and I could kind of see their vibe and just like get how they're doing and come up and just like stir it up for them. You know what I mean? Like in some kind of interaction. I like to check on people,
Hmm.
you know, and I think that's truly a life skill. No matter what you're doing is learning how to entertain a guest. And when you look at it helps you develop a level of like servitude and a giving spirit that you're no longer allowing like a situation that you're in to take from you because you're just trying to contribute to it.
Yeah.
And if you just take that wherever you're at, I want people to just know that like although I may walk into a business and or a classroom or wherever and it might take a little bit to kind of like grow on you, like some people are abrasive. Why? Because they want to fucking be reclusive and I'm not that way. I'm gonna be like friendly as fuck, but like assertively friendly. Like I'm gonna talk to you. Why? Because you're standing right there. I fucking see you. You know what I mean? Like, dude, don't be weird about this shit. It's
Yeah.
weird if you're just standing there and acting like you're an invisible man. Like, what's really fucking tripping this situation out is that you're such a stiff. You know, like, come
What's
on,
funny
like
is like they're not thinking that.
they don't think that at all. But that's the
Like
thing.
I'm
You
just
just
here.
give
I'm just
zero
waiting
fuck.
for the classroom to open up. They're sitting in
And
the
you didn't even
hallway
know
and
fun was about to come your way, son.
you
Like that's just what I like to be, just a little fucking fun streak of light
yeah.
coming into somebody's
You know,
world.
there's another dude at the gym that is like that, like you. His name is Ed. I'm sure you've talked to him before. He's an
Yeah,
Asian
dude,
dude, wears
Ed's
a
my
pink hoodie all the time. Yeah, Ed's a fucking
yeah,
dope ass dude. He's cool as
fucking
fuck.
salute to Ed. If
Yeah, he's
Ed watches
funny.
this, Ed's got fucking yoked ass triceps too.
Yeah,
Salute, Ed.
Ed's fucking jacked. He used to wrestle. I think high school, maybe college. I don't know how far he got, but he used to be a wrestler, and so
Yeah.
he's fucking jacked out the ass, and he just does crazy shit all the time. Not crazy shit, but he's
Mhm.
he's always working out, and he works out forever. It's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. So shout out to Ed, but he's another talkative person, and he's like really lighthearted, but he's quick with it. So like he doesn't
Mhm.
sit around and talk for like 10 minutes. He'll like
Yeah.
he'll talk for like maybe 30 seconds to a minute, depending on who you are, and maybe talk a little bit longer. But he's fucking in and out, and I love that
Yeah.
about him. I love that
And
quality.
like there's some people that you just see and you get where they're at.
Yeah.
Like he can kind of tell. Sometimes me and Ed will sit there and talk for a second, but most of the time he just comes up, will just dap each other up,
Yeah.
salute. Or
Exactly.
if I see him like across the gym and I happen like he catches me, I'm like, motherfucker, I was looking at you. But what you doing over there? You being
Yeah.
lazy, just some stuff like that. You just fuck with each other, just like, and it's cool in that way because it's a level of acknowledgement that I think everybody needs, and or like with old ladies, something that old ladies need, they need compliments on like their outfits and shit. Because if you
Yeah.
ever look at an old lady, I guarantee you she might have like a little pin on her jacket. I'm talking a genuine old lady. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Born in 1938 type shit. Bro, she would have a brooch or something like that. Or just her earrings. And you'll see how she tried to put it together. Why? Because she got turquoise earrings and a turquoise shirt or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to give her props on it. Be like, oh, those are nice earrings. Dude, you just made that person's day,
Yeah.
in like the easiest way.
I do
Um,
little compliments like that too. It's like I like that color of your shirt. Like I like the color of your shirt, or I like the color of your nails, or something like that. Like just
mhm.
think like random tiny things that you see about people, or like their shoes or their fucking hat or something. Um,
Yeah.
just small things, and I learned that from you. Just small compliments, and
Mm.
it fucking like it makes people smile. It
And
boosts their mood.
you never know where that's gonna go too. You
Facts.
compliment someone and like, dude, you never know when a beautiful girl is gonna be into you. You know? You compliment someone and it's like it's a way to kind of like keep it super real, keep that energy momentum like I was talking about consistently going,
Yeah.
and that happy spirit in you. So that way every interaction, whether it's with that person or just in your own world within yourself, is a happier place, you know? And I've said this before. Shout out to TD Jakes for teaching me this. Um, Appreciation, by definition, means to add value. So when you appreciate life, not only are you more valuable, that person knows they're more valuable, you know, or like you're like affirming it, and your life as a whole is worth more,
Yeah.
care more about it. And um, so yeah, it's a huge thing giving compliments to people, and people really need that shit. Um, they really do because people are hard enough on themselves.
For
Most of the
real.
time, like you don't have to get somebody to like people overcorrect in disciplinary measures, and they're really really harsh on themselves, and you can see it. That's why some people walk around with that gloominess, and you got to just shake that motherfucker out of it by
Yeah.
showing them how fun life is. And that's like the goal, is where you can figure out where proficiency um, can really meet not giving a fuck in your personality, you know. And where proficiency and personality kind of cross and intersect, bro, you can't fucking lose. And that was something that I realized. I was like, bro, I tried this whole fucking PC world and trying to figure out how to not let my nuts drag on the situation. But I'm gonna be who the fuck I am, And like that's where I'm most valuable. And if I gotta go out, that's where I'm most memorable, rather than some toned down version of myself. Fuck all that. People want real shit because that's what they resonate with. Like someday when people catch this podcast, they're gonna go back and look at the fucking archives of this. Somebody will. And they'll be like, they were talking about some shit when they were young. You know what I mean? By the
Yeah.
time we're old dudes and fucking what? Dude, we're gonna be killing it. And it's gonna be even more fun. Let me get my fucking fantasy factory on, you know? That's what I'm gonna
Facts.
do. I'm gonna get some money, bro, and let's vlog all this shit.
I don't give a fuck
Why
about
not?
that. Let's just have fun shit. I don't give a fuck about documenting it. But what would be sick? because I've been seeing these pop up a lot around places, is like barn dominiums. It's basically a house that's a barn, a super open concept. But that would be a
Yeah.
fucking sick thing for your fantasy factor, like your fantasy factory idea, because you could live in it, and there's so much room that you can have a bunch of fucking fun, and they're actually not that expensive to put up. They're like $150,000, $200,000. The
Yeah.
property is probably the most expensive part.
Oh yeah, we can do that shit.
Yeah, so you just need empty property and get some sewage lines ran and electrical, and then you're fucking good.
Hey, I'm gonna build the first barn pagoda, where it's like 3 barns on top of each other.
It's a little weird, but okay, do your thing, dog.
Dude, you-
Like, fuck. It might be a little overkill. I don't know what you need 3 barns for, but hey.
Bro, it'd be ill. Can
Why
you
don't you just
imagine
put
if
them
you
side by
I know,
side? You said you always
'cause if
wanted
you
a
bring out the
compound.
woodwork and you just seen that shit, you'd be like, this person's a fucking nut. You know it's a fun house, dude.
Just put
You'd be
3
like, why?
barns next to each other. What are you doing?
He's got fucking 30-foot ceilings in between each level. That's baller as fuck, dude. I
It
don't
is pretty
know.
baller, but I feel like
Right?
that's really tall. Like
That's what I'm
like
saying.
you need an elevator to get to each floor. You're not climbing those stairs. That's a lot of fucking
Dude,
stairs.
triple decker structure? Like, what? Dude, that'd be sick. You
That's a
gave me a
lot.
great idea. I would have a big ass chimney too, bro. Big
One for each. It'll hit each floor, and each
Yeah,
floor will have its own chimney. Each floor will also have its own exhaust.
fuck yeah, dude. It'll just be one exhaust. And I'll just have each floor.
But you got to be
That'll be
careful with that, because if it goes, if your smoke goes from floor 1 to floor 2, it might come in.
floor 3's the party floor. You're just smoked out, loked out at the top. They throw fucking people be fucking with you on the lower levels. They throw some weed in that shit. You're at the top, real.
I feel like 3 might be the safe one because it's closest to the actual exhaust. 2, I think, would be the danger zone,
Who
because it
knows?
would
Well,
come it would come up through the chimney and out their fucking fire pit, and then they'd just be like, "Holy shit!"
hey, bro, I would throw a party up in that bitch. Maybe throw some fucking a big old starter log, you know, like the ones on the fire with
Yeah.
fucking hashish in it, so you
Oh fuck.
smoke
Oh
out.
fuck. Basically, just like make a wooden canoe out of a log, fill it with fucking just bud or whatever the fuck you want, and then just put it on
You know how
top.
legit that would be? Just see what happens,
Yeah, bro. That'd be the biggest hot box ever.
dude. We
Close the
might have just
chimney a little bit, crack a window just so you guys don't die. But
we
yeah.
might have just came up with the most ultimate plan. And we gotta have different things at like all levels. Imagine if there's like a jujitsu tournament at like the top floor, bro.
It's just the
People are
weed
doing
getting pumped
jujitsu.
into the fucking building, and people
They
are just
love weed,
rolling.
bro. Yeah,
Oh
fuck yeah,
yeah.
we'll have Eddie Bravo be the fucking official.
Yeah, he'll be like announcing it. All of a sudden, he gets hit with the weed, and now he's just talking about aliens and the government conspiracy theories and
Dude,
shit.
space age. We go space age with it.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're gonna have a cooler note that we can end on than that.
No, I
So
don't
we're
think so.
yeah, pull out while the party's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Or right before, who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, until next week, y'all.
Word.
Peace.
Peace.